By the way, while we're waiting for everyone to get started, thank you so much to all of our vendors and sponsors who make this possible. Let's give everybody a round of applause. To all of our vendors and sponsors, we really do appreciate you helping out and contributing to this amazing event. How many of you were here last night to hear Amberly Lago? Was that amazing? If you were not here last night, let me just recap real quick. She has a story of true resilience and grit and mental mindset of I will not be defeated. Y'all agree with that? If you miss that and all of those golden nuggets that she dropped, you can see that if you upgrade your ticket to the VIP. You can go to tbwconnect.com and upgrade, and you will have access to not only Amberly's speech last night, but you can get access to all of today's speakers as well. So that would be amazing that you could always go back and look at that. Let me just say, too, that coming to these conferences is so much more than just learning. I think this is a way to recharge and do you agree with that? I mean, you need to be present and in the room, right? Because you know what we need? We need the mojo in this room right here. We need the mojo. Be in the room and be present. And so I am so grateful to be a part of this organization. Thank you, Karen Gray, for inviting me to be here today. My name is Julie Jones. I'm a new member. How many other new members do we have in here? How many are here for the first time, new members? Would you please stand? There are like 60 new people. Wow. First time attendees. Yes, first time attendees. Amazing. Thank you so much. You know, this organization, I've learned in the very short time that I've been working with it, is more than just a way to grow personally and professionally. This is a way to feel supported and loved in a way that you don't find in a lot of organizations. We truly link arms with each other. I don't think I've met a stranger here. This is my first time. I don't think I've met a stranger. It is amazing. And all of the lovely people with the heart to help and to serve, it has just been a phenomenal experience. And so I'm eternally grateful to be a part of this organization. I would like to also take a moment. Is it Sheila? Sheila, would you please come forward? We would like to recognize, she's with TWU, and we would like to recognize Texas Women's University for being a part of this and the tour that we had yesterday of the archives and the Texas Women's Hall of Fame. Thank you so much for being a part of this. What a special moment in time for us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's give her a round of applause. Thank you, TWU. All right. The archives? What? The archives, our TBW archives are over here. She said they brought them to us. So if we do have a lot of history, over 100 years. But thank you so much. If you'd like to take a moment, those of us who are new, we probably want to go over there and review the history of this amazing organization and the legends and legacies that paved the way for us to be here today. So that's amazing. I also want to say that the raffle tickets have been moved from the registration desk to this room, and Desiree has them. And does Taylor have them, or just Desiree? Okay. Okay, and if you need a ticket, the red tickets are the raffles, and the raffle prizes, by the way, have been moved over here. Okay, so this is what we're raffling. We also have door prizes, and our esteemed president, Karen Gray, has the orange tickets. And if you do not have an orange ticket for a door prize, raise your hand because we will get one to you.
Okay, let's start over.
Yeah, we're going to start over. Yeah. Because to be honest with you, I don't think I have mine either from last night. Yeah. Okay. So here's what we do. We're going to start fresh with door prizes. So if you have a ticket from last night, it's no longer valid. You got to get a new one. So there you go. All right. Yes. Sarah Strackhouse. Is she in the house? Sarah. We wanted, okay. Okay. Okay, thank you. We'll do this in a little bit. Okay, thank you. All right. And I would like to welcome to the stage Casey Griffin, who is going to introduce our first keynote speaker. Testing.
Ooh, that's much better. Thank you, Julie. See if I can stay out of that and out of the feedback. There we go. All right, so thank you, Julie. Is everybody ready to kick off today? Get some amazing speakers going. So it is my honor. Well, I did. And it doesn't like me. Yeah, that's why I backed up.
Okay, there you go.
Are we golden? Okay. So it is my honor to introduce a truly inspiring individual. And I'm like, I can't move to see her behind the flag, but she knows who she is. Her dedication and passion have transformed the lives of countless entrepreneurs, which now all of you will be part of as well. Alice Hinckley is a dynamic trainer and admired mentor, particularly for women building a business in direct sales or network marketing. With over 30 years of experience as an entrepreneur, Alice has a profound understanding of how just one change, one small step, can produce far-reaching results that influence the impact and legacy you can create. And that's what we're all here for, right? Is to build our legacies. Her commitment to empowering people to excel in all areas of life is truly commendable. On a personal note, over the many years I have been blessed to have her in my life. She's been an amazing mentor. Don't do this to me, Alice. An amazing mentor and had an incredible impact on my life. She drives me and inspires me to be the best version of myself, always sees the best in any situation, and has a heart of gold that changes the entire environment around her. Over the past decade, Alice has continued to gain popularity with women in the network marketing and direct sales industry. Her expertise and guidance have enabled many to create steady income from home-based businesses, establishing generational wealth and legacies for their families. As a master of many things, she is constantly learning, training, and lifting others to create their personal legacies. Well, ladies, it would take more than her allotted time for me to share with you all of her accomplishments. So without further ado, please welcome my dear friend and mentor, Alice Hinckley.
Well, how's everybody today? Good? Wasn't Amberly amazing last night? I love learning. Do you love learning? I don't think we ever quit learning. As a matter of fact, we were just having a conversation about how if you're not learning, you're kind of dying, right? You're not living. Well, today I want to talk to you a little bit about how influence creates legacy and how you become a person of influence. So what is influence? Influence is having the power to affect someone's actions, or maybe their decisions, or their opinions. And I believe influence creates legacy because as you go about your life, you're going to do things, say things, and become things that'll help other people be the best version of themselves. Now, I will tell you, you may not always get to experience that or see the result, so you want to intentionally make the decision to become a person of influence. And what I want to share with you today is just a few factors in life that I think have really helped me raise my level of influence. And I'm going to tell you, I've been a little surprised lately because maybe it's getting into a new decade. I turned 60 last fall, and I've had the opportunity to get some feedback from a few people who literally, maybe even 20 years ago, I said something to or did something with, and they've come back and shared how it changed them. The example that came to mind to me when I was working on this was my friend Shannon. I've known Shannon for probably 30 years. That she had gotten married, literally not until she was in her late 40s, and she was struggling, and she had struggled with depression earlier in her life. And Shannon is someone that maybe I had breakfast with once every other month. And she was struggling with the idea of taking a depression medication. And I said to her, and I will tell you, I don't remember saying this to her. I just know that when I'm with people, I trust what my spirit tells me to speak. And she told me later I said this to her. I said, well, you know, medication can be a bridge. It doesn't have to be a permanent thing. As a matter of fact, maybe it's the gift of a bridge to get you through a difficult time. Well, little did I know, she decided with her husband to go ahead and start taking some medication, and she only ended up having to take it for 8 or 9 months. But it really helped her work through a season. So what I want you to know is, part of what I want you to do today from what I say is really intentionally decide that you're going to leave a legacy by having an influence on others, a positive influence. Because a legacy is something long after you're gone, right, that people know and it affected them. And quite frankly, it can affect generations. A few years ago, my dear friend Kate told me I was a pebble in the pond because we would get together, some girlfriends that we met through events we used to produce, and then we would all go home. And it really affected me when I found out that some of the things that we were sharing, they went home and shared with other people. And maybe it changed how somebody treated their kids or their spouse or their coworkers. So using influence to leave a legacy, I think in a way is being humble because you don't get to see the accolades later. Maybe every once in a while. But you want to do it anyway because we want to leave every interaction we have that person to be better than they were when we started, right? So I have a few notes, and I'm going to give you some ideas about ways I think you become a person of influence. And the first thing, how many of you work for a corporation or have a boss, right? A lot of you do, or maybe some of you are the boss and work for a corporation. How many of you have your own business? Or any of you with nonprofits, philanthropy? Great, great. Well, one thing I know for sure is that you can't give from an empty cup. So the very first thing I would say about becoming a person of influence, and I will say I'm an A personality, I'm willing to push through and do all the hard work. It took me until I was about 40 to realize that the more I took care of myself, the more I had to give, and the more easily things flowed out of me to bless other people. So, I mean, it worked for God, right? On the 7th day, he rested and looked back and saw what he did was good. So that's 2 lessons I want you to learn. Rest. Even if you have to put it on your calendar. Rest. And the other one is to give yourself credit. look back and see what you did that was good. You know, maybe that week you held your tongue when you wanted to just lash out at someone. I have to do that a lot, Blenda. She's laughing because she knows. I mean, because I've learned I don't want to have to try to push it back in, right? Whatever it is, celebrate those victories each week. How many of you have a morning routine? Does it go like this? Rah, 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 rah. Snooze, and then you get up and you're like, okay, you get to tinkle, but you haven't even brushed your teeth yet. You got to start the coffee. You got to do this. You pick up your phone on your way to the potty. I'm going to ask you if you really think that serves you. Well over a decade ago, I decided to totally change my morning routine. And I'm just going to share with you what I do, and I've been doing it for so long that it just becomes naturally. Every morning, you know, in that haze when you're starting to wake up, before I open my eyes, I thank God for 3 specific things that happened in the last 24 hours. And you guys, it's been proven that if it's specific, if you've ever read The Happiness Advantage by Sean Achor, he was a Harvard professor, and they literally quantified happiness. And one of the things that raised the level of people's happiness, productivity, was being grateful for 3 specific things. So you can't just lay there and go, thank you, Lord, that I'm waking up again today, although that's a good thing. You want to say something like, before I left here, I said, thank you, Lord, that Bob cooked dinner last night and didn't even think about me doing it because he knew I was going to get up early and leave. You know, thank you that my mom, after not being able to practically walk for 3 or 4 months, and she's 81 and an Energizer bunny, that she's mobile again. So do you see what I mean? You got to be really specific and have that heart of gratitude. I love the way Amberly said, you know, gratitude changes can shift you immediately. But imagine starting your morning with gratitude. Then when I put my feet on the ground, I drink a glass of water. So when I go to bed, I put water on my nightstand. You get dehydrated overnight. Did you know your brain doesn't work well or fire correctly if you're not hydrated? And just FYI, Diet Coke, coffee, Pepsi, they don't hydrate you. Water hydrates you. So I have this glass of water. I get up and, brush my teeth, go to the bathroom. I stretch. I do some type of positive devotional. I love using the app called The First 5 because it's literally a 5-minute devotional by Proverbs 31 Ministries, Lisa Turkhurst. It's amazing. And I will say when I travel, I do look at my phone to do that. But that's all I look at my phone for. I do not look at my phone until I have gone through my 5-step routine and set myself up for a positive day. And why? Because in that phone, every email, every social media post, they all have an opinion about what's going on today, something that you may even reflect upon and compare yourself to. Please remember, comparison is the thief of joy. Don't compare yourself to other people. You don't really know where they are. And you don't even know if it's real anymore, right? So I challenge you to do something to change your morning routine for the better, to really support you. Now, my evening routine is a little easier, brush your teeth, wash your face, all the stuff. I do not look at my phone last thing, and there are so many studies that say you shouldn't just because of the light. We have a TV in our bedroom, but it's for music, so we're not watching news while we fall asleep, or the latest murder mystery show, and I love murder mysteries, but we don't need to listen to that before we go to bed, right? You'll hear me say, I love apps, obviously. There's an app called Abide, and it's a meditation app, and they have bedtime stories, and there's literally music, and they read you a Bible story while you fall asleep. I don't usually ever get to the end of the Bible story, but that's a good thing, right? So to become a person of influence, you have to love and take care of yourself. And if you make that promise to yourself to do it, please, please do it. We want you to be able to flourish and thrive. And for you to do that and influence other people, you definitely have to take care of yourself. I don't want to miss anything, so I always have to check and make sure I didn't I guess the one other thing I would say is be careful about your self-talk. You know, as women, a lot of us are basic nurturers. So we'll give other people grace and kindness. But the things we say to ourselves are a little scary sometimes. So I've learned when it comes in to change direction, I'll start singing something that makes me feel good, right? So be careful, because there is life and death in the power of the tongue. You've seen a parent speak to a child in a way that killed part of them, just by the tone or the words. And you've seen the opposite. You've seen a parent breathe life into a child with their words. So really be careful, even more importantly, what you say when you talk to yourself. Even if you need to come up with a good mantra, I mean, I say things to myself that other people have said to me. Remember, you're a pebble in the pond. You know, when you're criticizing yourself, whatever it might be. So remember, take some great things people have said to you. I know you've gotten a compliment or two about the way you have treated others, or some action or the attitude you had when you served. Use those things to fill your mind, because you have to take care of yourself to be able to have an influence on others and leave a legacy. The next thing I want to talk to you about is mentorship. In 1 John 3:18 it says, "Dear children, let's not merely say that we love each other, let us show the truth by our actions." Mentorship is so important, and I believe it should go both ways. You want to find someone, if you're looking to build a new skill, find someone who has that skill and let them mentor you. You might even be surprised if you ask them to help you, or you just ask for information about how they got started. If you're starting a business and you know someone in the community who you respect their character and what they've accomplished, you would be surprised how often they would be happy to spend 20 minutes with you if you really respect their time and ask them a couple questions. And what about mentoring others? Keep your ears open. There are people around you that have experienced things that you haven't yet, or that you have already and they haven't yet. You know, I would certainly rather learn, Marissa, from your error than have to make it myself, right? You can say, well, I tried this or I did that. Like Stephanie and I were talking this morning, she goes, oh, don't wait till that to do this. I got this for you. Now, we are close friends, so she didn't even have to ask me permission to tell. Well, actually, she did ask me. She said, can I give you a suggestion? Don't give advice or counsel or wisdom, even if you know it's the right thing, or you assume, until you ask permission to give it, even if you're as close as sisters, right? But do look for that. You want to be what we call, Glenda and Melinda and I did a talk about the sweet spot. You want to be in the sweet spot. You want to be offering great wisdom to others, and you want to be learning from others. Probably one of my biggest pet peeves is people who take advice from those who don't have what they want. You know, everybody's got an opinion. If somebody's telling you how to do it and they don't have what you want, be gracious. Listen, and go find somebody who's done what you want to do and actually take their pointers, wisdom, guidance. You know, when Amberly said last night, you know, seek counsel, not opinion. That was a really concise way to say that. When I was younger, probably about 25 years ago, I really wanted to be in a relationship and get married. And I decided that I needed to find a couple of marriages that I really respected and spend time with those people. And I did. And I think when I ended up getting married, it's made me a better spouse, because I watched how they interacted through all different things, not just having me over for dinner. You know, the kids are acting up, this is going on, that's going on. So really work your way to being a mentor, but also be open to being mentored, because we never arrive. Or I don't think I'm going to arrive at knowing everything. I mean, I think there's only one that knows everything. Let's see. Also about having a coach. Probably 30 years now, I've had a coach. I pick a different one every year for different skills, and I pick a different one every year because I feel like different personalities have different things to teach. I highly recommend, even if you're the president of a bank, or if you're the head of the PTA, having a coach maybe for your communication skills. Maybe you need someone, I mean, I'm a CPA. I've had people come to me because they are doing things, but they don't necessarily understand the financial aspect of it. How can I help them make it clear for them? So make sure that you look for coaches and see the value in it. Now, I'm not saying pay a fortune, but I'm saying find something that works for you. And I do believe you can watch YouTube videos all the time, but there's something about having one-on-one or group accountability. And quite frankly, ladies, there's something about paying for it that makes it more special to you. So, and I'm not selling a coaching program, so it's not, but I'm just telling you that after all these years, I'm willing to do that because I understand. So first of all, we had self-care, right? I want you to turn to your neighbor and tell them, take care of yourself, you're worth it. All right. Turn the other way, say it to one more person. Take care of yourself, you're worth it. Maybe that can be your mantra, take care of myself, I'm worth it. Right? Take care of myself, I'm worth it. All right, let's do a quick share with somebody next to you too. What's one thing, I mean literally just 2 sentences each, what's one thing you've learned from a mentor that has really helped you in life? Go, whatever pops in the top of your head, share with your neighbor. All right, that's great, you guys. I'm so thrilled to have you talk to each other, because isn't networking what it's about? You may meet somebody here this weekend that will be a dear friend for life. Melinda, Lilly, and I met over probably 35 years ago now at a leadership conference in Tahoe. We didn't know each other, and they assigned us to be accountability partners. Now we're like sisters. We've been in business together. We've helped each other through a lot of things in life, right? Mentorship. Now let's talk about character. Proverbs 10:31, right? Who can find a virtuous woman, for her worth is far above rubies? I want you to really be intentional about how people experience you. And here's what I mean. I have 5 character traits that I want to always keep, that people will know me about. That I'm a woman of faith, that I'm joyful, that I have a servant's heart, that I'm an encourager, right? I want to make sure that people know my number one core value is integrity, above love. So those are the 5 things that I want to leave as a legacy. I want people to, when they think about me, anytime after they've met me, that one of those things comes to mind. If you want to leave a legacy as a person of influence, you are going to want to decide intentionally what 5 character traits are important to you. We kind of created this lesson, I'll tell you. Long ago, before I met my husband, probably about 25 years ago, I was in a taxi in Milan, Italy, with my friend Kathy and my other friend Gary, and we were having a conversation about, we're all three single, we're having a conversation about, I'm tired of dating these people, right? And this conversation evolved over lunch, and we decided to pick 5 character traits we wanted in our future spouse. And then we all agreed that we were going to work to become those 5 things, because like attracts like, right? So I wanted someone who loved family, who had an entrepreneurial spirit, who was a good communicator, who was spiritual, and I don't know, I can't remember the other one. Oh, financially responsible. I'm an accountant after all, right? And so I had to become those things. And I'll tell you, God has a sense of humor, because my husband Bob is all of those things and more, but I guess I should have been more specific about the good communicator thing. Because here's the deal. Bob is such a good communicator, he is going to tell you every little detail of what happened. Now, I'm a tell me what to do kind of girl. So at the beginning of our marriage, I realized I was doing this. I mean, literally, physically, I was going, come on, get there. Right, get me there. Now I've learned that I asked for a good communicator, and I guess I'm going to get all the details. Every once in a while, I'll be like, today, could we just tell me what you want me to do? I'll be like, okay. But if I did that all the time, and I've also learned to do this, not this. So I would challenge you, maybe some of you are single and are looking for an amazing spouse. We had at breakfast this morning, we were talking about how we were so blessed with our spouses and how none of us are perfect, but we are ideal for each other. And what a blessing that is. So I would challenge you to think about these character traits, not just if you're looking for a spouse, or if you're already married and you want them to change in some way, raise your level of character in that way. As you are thinking right now about the women you want to do business with, those 5 character traits that you're going to intentionally become to make you a real person of influence, you have to develop them, and then those people will be attracted to you, right? Like Amanda with her servant's heart. We're friends, mostly online. We've only met in person. Is this been together twice, Amanda, the second time? But I know that she has a servant's heart, and that she's smart. And I was a nerd growing up, and I always wished I wasn't a nerd, and I wished when I was a kid that I had known being a nerd was going to be really profitable later. Instead of wanting to be a cheerleader. Any of you get that? I didn't like being a brain. Well, Amanda's a brain like me, and I like that. And she has a servant's heart. So really think about character, you guys. Take a quick moment to share with someone next to you just one word. That character trait that you want people to think of, one of them that you want people to think of when they think of you. That's a good one for you, Belinda, prayer warrior. I would go with that. Anybody else have a good one? What's a character trait you want to be remembered for, or you want to have the impression of making? Giving. Having that giving spirit. That's wonderful.
Melinda said happy.
Oh, yeah, that goes for it. Happy. Yeah, to experience happiness. Yeah. Nobody wants to be about, what did she call them last night? Puppy uppers. Puppy uppers and doggy downers. Be a puppy upper. Or if you need to be a doggy downer for a minute, discipline your disappointment. Have your pity party and be done. I'm not saying don't experience your pity feeling. Give yourself, I would say 10 minutes. I'll give you grace. You can take 20 minutes if you need it, but then don't live there, because that's not going to serve you or anyone. All right, let's talk about how encouragement can make you an influencer, a real person of influence. Kind words are like honey, sweet to the soul and healthy for the body. Proverbs 16:24. A while ago, probably 15 years, my friend Adam told me I was a professional encourager. And you know what? I took that title and I wear it, I'll even say proudly. And I'm not a very prideful person, but what a great thing that someone that knew me thought I was a professional encourager. Do you go out of your way to encourage people? And I'm talking even if you see a stranger that a color looks great on them, give them a compliment. You may be the only kind thing they hear all day. Right? Ask a lot of questions. And then, here's the key, listen. Don't just ask the question and then have your brain going on to the next thing you're going to say. Listen to what the person says to you. There may be a way you can serve them. There may be somebody you can introduce them to that can help them move forward with courage, like we were taught last night, right? So, what are some ways that I make sure I'm a professional encourager? I still believe in a handwritten note, and I love to send cards. And when my mom helped me pack to move from Dallas to Arkansas, she's like, you really don't need to buy any cards for a while. Well, I have to have the right card when I need it. Y'all, if you have them on hand, you can go to Half Price Books and buy a beautiful box of cards for $3.99 or $4.99. They're amazing. I keep cards and stamps. Write a note when someone comes to mind. You know what an impact it makes today because we don't get those kind of things in the mail? I've walked into people's houses years later and seen a note on their refrigerator that I wrote them. You don't know what you're speaking. Now, of course, we got technology too. I send a lot of video texts. I send a lot of voice texts. When someone comes to mind, just let that catch in your spirit and say something kind to them. Or maybe you know somebody's going through a hard time. Well, maybe I've texted a prayer to people, praying over them. We have the opportunity with little time. You can put 5 minutes in your calendar every day to stop and send 2 messages like that. And it doesn't have to be, I've sent it to my insurance agent before when I was frustrated by my premium going up so much. And she explained it, I'm like, we didn't do anything. She's like, yeah, but everybody around you did, and Mother Nature. I'm like, fine. But you know what I mean? But she was so gracious and kind and listened to me kind of vent, like, I'm the good girl. Why am I paying more? You know? Be a professional encourager. Embrace that identity because what you identify with will show up in your life all the time. That's why the character and the character traits are so important. So, encourage the person next to you. On each side, turn to each one and say, I believe in you. I believe in each and every one of you. And you know why? Because you're here and you're being proactive. You could be laying by the pool. Well, it's kind of hot. You could be sitting in the pool, right? But here you are. Now let's talk about one of my favorite things to talk about that'll help you become a person of influence, having multiple streams of income. For I know the plans I have for you, declare the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. I was taught in my 20s about multiple streams of income. At the time, I was working full-time in a public accounting firm. But I had always knew I wanted to do something else, and an opportunity came along for me to actually start my own tax practice. And there I was then at home by myself doing tax returns. Yes, I'm good at it, but it wasn't very exciting. You know, I joined a direct sales company because I went to a party to buy toys for my nephews because I liked the lady and I wanted to be around other people. I joined that company for camaraderie, and I ended up going on many amazing trips in different parts of the world and achieving a lot of things and learning so much about personal growth and development. And then along the way, what else have I done? Oh, for a while there, I was in the mortgage business, always still having my tax practice. I've written books, I've been a corporate trainer and traveled all over teaching different subjects. Currently, I'm with Color Street, 100% nail polish strips and some wonderful premium makeup products. I love that for the team and the camaraderie. I love it even more for pouring into the younger women because somebody did that for me when I was in my 20s. And I don't think I would be the person I am today if it weren't for that person starting that wave in my life. And if we can pay that forward, if some young woman who's not sure and doesn't have the confidence, if I can help her in any way get to have a life like I have now, wow, what a blessing would that be? Even if I don't ever get to see it, right? So I want you to think, how many of you have multiple streams of income? That's great. I love it. This can be rental properties. Y'all, I learned to trade options and stock. It's like a game to me. But I make a little money, $1,000 or $2,000 every month doing it, right? Find things that are intriguing to you. What's your passion? If you don't have a second stream of income, and I do want to make sure this is, let me be clear, income, not just fun. I mean, you can do something and it can cost you money. I keep going back to being the nerdy accountant, but I've been a CPA for like 36 years. It is about making a profit and helping your family or your future. Maybe you just save the money. Put it in the retirement that you were late starting or something. But if you don't have a second stream of income, and I'll tell you this, Belinda said this morning, and I totally believe in it. I don't call it a side gig. A side gig just sounds like you're not doing, whatever. I call it a business. It can be a part-time business. Maybe you can only spend 5 hours a week doing whatever you're going to do. Like our friend Jody is an amazing seamstress. She makes these handbags that look like they were made in, I don't know, by professionals. And she sells them at events. They're beautiful. If you buy one, people comment on it. They're like, where can I get one of those? Oh, my friend Jody makes them in her sewing room. But she's making extra money for her long-term retirement doing something she loves. I personally love the idea of affiliate marketing or direct sales or network marketing because I've been around it and had such a good experience. Now, I know some of you have not had a good experience. But I say if you find a product that you love and is working for you, why not make a little money sharing it? And it can be affiliate things too. I mean, did you guys know that you can get paid to do video reviews on Amazon? And when somebody watches your video, you get paid if they buy that product? I have a friend making a couple grand a month doing that. That's next on my list. I got to teach my husband how to do that. He's got a good opinion, right? So think about how you can increase your income for your family, okay? Turn to the person next to you and tell them you have a bright future. You have a bright future. All right, last point, you guys. Let's talk about philanthropy. Given you will receive, your gift will return to you in full. Pressed down, shaken together to make room for more, running over and poured into your lap. The amount you give will determine the amount you give back. Luke 6:38. Be an advocate. When we talk about philanthropy, find a cause that's important to you. Volunteer your time. You're going to meet some amazing people who have a passion for the same thing you do, and you're going to give back to the community that is helping support you and your family. Be an advocate like Amanda and Belinda are for the Rainbow Room in San Angelo, or my friend Liz, who raises puppies for Canine Companions for Independence. She's a volunteer puppy raiser. She is on her 9th lab puppy. She raises them for 15 months and gives them up. And they go to veterans. And I'm like, Liz, I don't know how you do that. And she's like, somebody needs to do it. And those dogs are so precious. I met quite a few of them along the way. Wonderful. Practice Wealth Wednesday. You know what Wealth Wednesday is? Every Wednesday is Wealth Wednesday. Sometimes I hashtag tip the bill. If I go out to lunch and my bill's $25, I leave a $25 tip. Sometimes I pay for the person's drink behind me in line. I know people who put $20 bills in boxes of diapers in the store, in formula. Don't tell me you can't give. If you can give $1, you can give. You have to give to receive. And what I learned a long time ago in life is even when I make less money, if I continue to sow into others, into where I get my spiritual growth, I'm going to be okay. I'm not going to have that extra flat tire or need a new washer. So really, think about how you can give. And to wrap up, I just want to say, always be humble and gentle. Be patient with each other, making allowance for each other's faults because of your love. Make every effort to keep yourselves united in spirit, binding yourselves together with peace. Ephesians 4:2 and 3. It's never too late to be intentional about having an impact or leaving a legacy. It starts with becoming a person of influence. The goal is every day to be a better version of yourself today than you were yesterday. And give yourself grace along the way. Now, you guys, I have decided at 60 to start a new business called Thrive in Faith, where I'm going to have digital products for Christian business women, for Christian women entrepreneurs. And we're actually going to launch the products in August, but we're getting our freebie ready. It should be ready very soon. So Desiree's going to put a thing up here. You're welcome to text TBW to, or you can scan the QR code. You can text TBW to 501-299-8214, or if you go to this QR code, those are all of my links. And if you would follow me on Facebook for the Christian Women Entrepreneurs community, I will post in there when the freebie's ready for you guys to have. We're going to have things about confidence and time management, all the tools that'll help you be really, really successful. Now, I did want to take a quick minute. I have a few of the books that I've written, and I thought I would share them. Who feels like they need to think more like a CEO? All right, come get it. I got on heels. I'm not coming off this stage except for one time. Now, how many of you feel like you could use a little help in building lifetime relationships? Take that book over there to her, and Melinda Lilly is the co-author on that. How about Success Chronicles, being a woman of impact? Somebody over here. How about you in the pink? Oh, thank you. Now, some of you in here are in direct sales and network marketing. I wrote part of this book with Rob Sperry, who's a great coach. Who feels like they're stuck? Because this book is called Unstuck. Let's get you unstuck. All right, Marissa. Maria, you raise your hand. I'll give you one. That's my sister-in-law. Like, I'll give you the whole stack. I mean, we're family. And then if you'd like to do a 90-day plan, this is called Nail It in 90 for direct sales and network marketing. It's actually a workbook with a page for every day. All right, back there. All right. You guys, thank you for letting me share a few of my thoughts. I believe that you can leave a legacy, or that you are leaving one, whether you're doing it intentionally or not. So make the choice today to be that woman of character and live those traits that are important to you. Yes?
I missed the last Bible verse that you mentioned. Is it 6:30?
The last one was Ephesians 4:2 and 3. Yes, ma'am. Ephesians 4:2 and 3. All right. Thank you, guys. Oh, it's right here. You guys, you can also text TBW to 501-299-8214. And that'll give me your contact info to let you know when the freebie's ready too. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Alice. That was amazing. Wasn't she amazing? She came all the way from Arkansas to deliver this to us today. Thank you so much for your inspiring message. Who has one thing you're going to take away? One thing from her message. Yes. Morning routine. Amazing. Fix yourself. Get ready for your day. It's part of getting ready. Yes, I love that. Who else? One more. Discipline your disappointment. That was great. All right. Well, thank you so much. One more. Do we have one more? Oh, one word, give it to another person so they can wear the badge. How amazing is that? We are so grateful to you, Miss Alice Casey. We're going to give you this as a token of our appreciation. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I feel very honored.
We feel honored. Thank you.